which will going to take some insights on which batsman to compare, right? So we'll go one by one. Okay, so this is the agenda what I have. So already yesterday you might have studied in detail about linear regression. So it's a supervised learning, and you have linear regression and logistic regression. Logistic regression is a classifier, which is also a machine learning algorithm. And then we'll about to see another supervised learning, which is decision tree, and then little bit about the random forest. Then we have SVM and unsupervised learning and then reinforcement learning. I'm not touching upon that part. We are focusing only on the supervised learning part today for the machine learning. So this is what we go ahead. Last we'll see some hands-on session. I hope all of you like it. So initially we'll start what do you mean by the data. So data has some sources, right? So if you look at from the early ages, the technology was not that far. So we had the telephones, we had 98 version Windows and desktops, and then very old version of cars. So that does not give us any ample amount of data. Then we came to the field of IoT. So what is IoT? Anyone knows what IoT? Internet of Things. So basically what IoT does is it connects your tools, right, online. So it connects the tools and then they communicate each other by transferring the data via internet. That is what the IoT. So why IoT is important in data source, because today almost the data set which we measure in IoT will be in zettabyte. So we have, you all know about gigabytes, GB. So you can imagine the zettabyte, how much amount of data will be coming from only Internet of Things. So for example, it is nowadays we have electronic vehicles. So EVs also now connecting to each other and giving a lot of data, that may be a sensor data and all those things. So till now almost like 500 GB of 500 of zettabyte of data is been creating every hour only through IoT. Then another source is social media. So social media like we all know Instagram, Twitter. Now it is renamed as X, right? Facebook and then YouTube. So you don't know how many hundred of GBs of data are coming out every minute. Then some other factors like government, education, healthcare. So these are all the sources from where we get a data, right? Now when we have a data, it's a huge amount of data. The basic BI tools, whatever you have, business intellectual tools available, will not going to give you a correct insight about the data, right? If any, for example, let's say you're working in a company of, let's say, forget about company, let's say, how many of you likes cricket? Can I just okay, some women's also raising hand. So, all of you have seen IPL, right? So, before IPL, there will be an auction to IPL. Have you seen that auctions? That Mahendra Singh Dhoni has been sold to Chennai Super Kings for 14 crores and so on, right? So, how Chennai is making decision on that? They will not simply take a bet on a person, how much famous he is, right? So they do a lot of data analytics based on its past performance and then take the insight, so that they should do a good business predictions, whether I should bet on Mahendra Singh Dhoni or shall I take Hardik Pandya, right? We will touch upon that part also. That's one hands-on session what we're going to do. So that is why we required a data scientist. BI tools will not give you proper insight. That is only done by the data scientists. So data sciences come, and now it is keep on still evolving, right? So data sciences comes and you give the data to a data scientist, and he follows some procedures that I'll speak, and then he will give you a good insight about the data, so that you as a company can make prediction. So one case study I have taken here as a Walmart. So Walmart case study, what they did is, the data scientists in Walmart, they found that there is a connection between a Halloween and sales of cookies. But as a person, does it make a sense? So Walmart sees that whenever the Halloween comes, the sales of the cookies increases. So as a person, that doesn't make sense, but data telling that, right? So whatever what they did is, whenever Halloween trying to approach, they keep their cookies at the front row so that the sales of the cookies increase, because that is what the data is telling, and their sales has been increased exponentially. Another case of Walmart is that hurricane and strawberry pop-tarts. So whenever hurricane comes, the sales of pop-tarts also increases. That's also from the data only they have came the insights. And another case study is that social media and cake pops. So this data they have come to know from the social media, that people are very well crazy about this product called cake pops. So what they did is they started placing the cake pops on the front shelf rows, and their sales has increased 2 times, 3 times, 4 times bigger. So this data insight they have not got from any other source, they have got it only from the social media. So this is one small case study, right? So it's a Ronald Coase, he's the economist Nobel Prize. What he says, you torture the data and it will confess very early. So when you give a data set, you keep on do a lot of things on data, you keep torture it, it will definitely going to confess you something. Nowadays even the politicians who will win the elections also based upon a lot of machine learning algorithms, because we have a lot of past data and past history about all the politicians you have. We don't make a claim that because Narendra Modi has released Article 370 or he constructed Ram Mandir, there will be some protocols. Data scientists won't see all that. We make decisions based on some data, and data never lies. Okay. So what is the scientific methods we do programming? Statistics is one of the important tool which is required, and then we make insight on the business, whatever business your company is working on, right? So who is data scientist? What they do? So data scientists do a lot of mathematics. They use technology so that they comes out with some business insights. Alright? It seems easy, but it is not that easy process. We will come by that. So what are the skill set required for a data science? If you want to be any student, want to be a data scientist, or if you want to be a data science instructor, then you should know statistics, some basic statistics, definitely. Programming languages, if you know, that's good. If you don't know also, doesn't matter, because nowadays we have a lot of AI too, right? So just for instance, in upcoming few months, me and my research team, we are planning to come out with complete 1 week FTP on reinforcement learning and unsupervised learning only by AI tools. Okay, because they are really different from the supervised learning. So then you have data extraction, data processing. That's a very important thing. A lot of data science people spend a lot of time only on data extraction and processing, right? Then data wrangling and exploration. Then we decide which machine learning algorithm to be used. And if you know what big data processing framework, this is for the advanced data analysis. And then you do data visualization like EDA, exploratory data analysis. Okay, so what are the job roles for data science? This is not only, I have just quoted few. You can be data scientist. Data scientist is a different job role than a data analyst. So I'll come back to that a bit later. You can be data analyst, you can be data architecture, you can be data engineer, statistician, data based administrator, business analytics, and data analytics and manager. Now, if I'm not wrong, if you have your profile in LinkedIn and you have any of these like features in your profile, like you are a good statistician and probability guy, and you do little bit of optimization as well, then you automatically see, you upload a profile in Naukri.com, automatically the companies who works on data science will start approaching you for a job. It happens because this is what they need. Now, a pure mathematics, even the mathematicians are taking these roles. If you know a bit about probability and statistics, they are replacing them. So this is just a data life cycle. So we start with the data acquisition, data processing, we do data exploration, modeling, and then we do, once our model is ready, we'll deploy that for the testing. Okay. So I think we have already spoken about that. Just run through it. Okay. No, what do you mean by data? Anyone? Information related to the bank. Right. Okay. Right. If I put it this way.
Student data in the institutes.
Student data of the institute. Now I put it this way. What are the types of data?
Primary, secondary.
No, that's okay. Primary data, secondary data is fine. I am asking the category of like how you categorize the data.
Numerical, categorical.
Like numerical data. So when you collect a data set, either you will have a numerical data, or you may have categorical data, or you have both numerical as well as categorical data. So we call it as quantitative or qualitative data. Then again we have subcategories like nominal, ordinal. So anyone touch upon what is nominal and ordinal? Okay, for example, let's say I have a data set like this. So category means what? If the data set is not any numerical, we just put that they belong to some object. So it's a categorical data. Now, when you tell it's an ordinal data,
Ordinal means rank wise.
ordinal,
Rank.
okay, and nominal,
Quantitative.
okay. This is something called they follow the order. So which data follow order? And some data does not follow order. That means order does not matter to me. For example, let's say in a data set, if you have a column called a city, let's say you X student belongs to Bangalore, Y student belongs to Kanpur. So city column, it's a categorical data, but in that categorical data again you have a category of is it nominal or ordinal? Because city does not follow any order. You cannot say Bangalore is better than a Kanpur. It does not have any measure to do that. So which kind of data is it, nominal or ordinal?
Nominal.
It's nominal, right? But same way, if you have a same data set and again you have a column of the same student called rank or class or grade, you have grade A based upon the marks, grade B. So grade A and grade B can you measure because grade A is more better than grade B. It's still a categorical data. So it is a nominal because it's ordinal because it follows a order. Okay. So this is I'll not go much in depth about qualitative, quantitative. I have spoken about that. Then what is statistics? It is just applied mathematics, concerned with data collection, analysis, and we do a lot of interpretation and then visualizations. So for example, your company has created a new drug that may cure cancer. So how can you conduct a test to confirm that drug is effective? Yeah. So, but to do hypothesis testing on this, we need to have a data set so that we can make some prediction, and then we make hypothesis on that, and then we do test and hypothesis test. Okay, so these are some statistics terminologies called as sample and a population as well as the sample, right? So all of you, I think, well was about the population and sample and why you need sampling. It is simple as that when you have to measure a 1 million group of students. Let's say I want to do a survey that how many students of class 12 study only for 10 hours. Okay, so there are, I don't know, 12 standard entire India will be like millions of students are there. So it is very difficult to conduct a survey. So what I will do, I will take a sample of that and do survey on that, which will directly implicate on the population because the mean of population will be same as the mean of sample. Okay. So we have different types of sampling. We have random sampling, we have systematic sampling, and the stratified sampling. So I'm not going in depth of all those things. So next, very important concept called descriptive statistic. For data scientist, if you any data scientist or any faculty or anyone who goes for interview, they face a lot of questions only on descriptive statistics. So can anyone give little insight about what you know about descriptive statistics? We have descriptive statistics, we have inferential statistics, the category. So what do you know by descriptive statistics?
The measures of central tendency, dispersion.
Okay. Only those? types of
How the population, nature of the population.
nature of the population. So the population will comes into picture when you wanted to convey, like if you're testing something on that particular population. Here a descriptive means what? You should able to give some describe to the data, as sir said, mean, right? Mode, median, variance,
Quartile.
standard deviation,
Percent.
quartiles, minimum, maximum. So this will give, it is just a description about the data. So the description about the data is nothing but your descriptive statistics. We will come back, we will see everything one by one in Python and we'll justify that what it is. And what inferential statistics do, it just want to give an inference to the data set, right? Okay. So we have measure of central tendency and then measure of variability. So all of you know what measure of central tendency. How many central tendency we have? Mean, median, mode. We all know that, right? My first question.